adoption of the amendment, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentlelady from Illinois, Ms. Duckworth, recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the gentleman for bringing this amendment to consideration, but I'm speaking in opposition to it and any other amendments that would restrict the DoD's ability to improve our energy security. Thankfully, this amendment won't impact the current biofuel refinery projects that have already been authorized under the Defense Production Act and would do nothing to stop the 2014 contracts. However, the more troubling aspect of this amendment is the impact it would have on the future development of these facilities, and it would severely hamper DoD's ability to enter into other contracts for fuel production facilities that offer a tactical and strategic benefit for military operations. It's these kinds of investments that get mischaracterized. What gets lost in the conversation are the national security implications of what the department is trying to do. It's not about going green or trying to achieve some larger environmental goal. It's about developing technologies that will allow a platoon of soldiers or Marines to push further into enemy territory because they aren't dependent on a huge logistical tail and footprint. It's about enabling greater persistence, range, endurance, and time on station for vehicles, ships, and airplanes. It's about being able to project greater and more lethal power. Anything that enables us to do that, I'm all for, and I think it should be embraced. This kind of amendment would prohibit DoD from making those critical investments that would ultimately enable power projection. Between 2003 and 2007, DoD put out numbers that said that 80% of all supply trucks on the road in Iraq and Afghanistan were fuel convoys. In that same time period, over 3,000 Americans, troops and contractors were killed in fuel supply convoys. Let me tell you that having served as an assistant operations officer task force in Iraq, I saw firsthand how risky and expensive it is to maintain diesel fuel supply lines in the combat zones. I saw fellow soldiers risk life and limb for this precious battlefield resource. And if we can develop the capability of generating fuel on a military base and keep even 1 or 2 trucks off of the roads and keep our men and women safe, then I'm all for it. You know, if we can generate biofuels using food scraps off of a base as large as Balad was, the LSA, then that's a good thing. The Department of Defense recognizes this. It is the largest consumer of liquid fuels in the world, purchasing more than 100 million barrels in 2014 alone. The volatility of global oil markets is a huge risk to DoD and our taxpayers' dollars. In fact, just last month, we heard from Secretary Mavis on the ability to use fuel as a weapon for what the Navy is doing to mitigate that by moving to non-fossil fuel sources. That's why the Navy has made such a priority to secure our energy future. Because of authorities under DPA and the biofuel refineries that have been built, the Navy was able to partner with private industry to develop drop-in, military-compatible biofuels each year at an average price of well below $4 a gallon. Their work is why the U.S. has secured private sector investments of more than $4.9 billion since 2007. These alternative fuels provide a good return on investment for the taxpayer dollar, creating a new and vibrant sector of America's economy, fostering jobs, businesses, widespread economic benefits in districts all across this country, as well as my own and many of my colleagues as well. I urge my colleagues to oppose this attack on a diverse, made-in-America energy base that will strengthen our military, keep our men and women in uniform safer, and also secure our nation's future. And I oppose this amendment. I yield back.